would have happened to Noah in those 15 minutes? The thing is, there had to been something that happened days, weeks, months, possibly before this, and then this was a perfect opportunity for someone to strike on Noah, because we don't know of any Noah's enemies. It seems like Noah was a good kid, but still, kids are kids at the end of the day. So parents see him one way, say their friends see him another way, and then there's how they actually are. But I would assume Noah's a good kid, but I don't know who his enemies were, because it seems like he has enemies. All right, let's go into the theories that are posted here. There are certainly no shortage of theories in this case. From the rumors of needle-wielding homeless drug addicts to the substantiated jailhouse confession by a loyalist paramilitary group. Ooh, that was a word. However, we'll stick to some of the more mainstream theories. Theory 1, a head injury leading to an accidental drowning. Might as well start off with the official explanation. While the family claims there was no evidence of a severe head injury in the autopsy, concussions are often microscopic in nature and can be nearly impossible to diagnose outside of neurological testing. So it doesn't seem too hard to believe that Noah fell off his bike, suffered a concussion, became confused and disoriented, undressed, and in his disoriented state, he wandered around before finding his way to a storm drain, becoming stuck and tragically drowning. What I don't truly get about that, as I'm moving a few things around, is if he had a concussion, okay, he could still, because like football players get concussions, they're not necessarily knocked all the way out, but they're still not. First, he is correct, they're not in the right mind. But after a certain period of time, he wouldn't be able to, especially at 14, I guess he wouldn't be able to handle it, but he wouldn't be as fast. He wouldn't be able to run away from the bus driver unless the bus driver just like super old and super slow. That would be the only thing I can think of. And he shouldn't be able to drive his bike straight again if he has a concussion, especially if he's disoriented. As soon as he picked up the bike and tried to drive, he should have fell back down again. So that's the only thing that confused me. And how hard did he hit this bus for it to be like that? All right, let's go to mental illness 2, or theory 2, mental illness or psychotic break. This theory is very similar to the head injury theory, with the only difference being that Noah was suffering from a rapidly onset mental illness or going through a psychotic break, leading to the odd events being captured on CCTV or ultimately his death. Evidence for this can be potentially found in his over-infatuation with Jordan Peterson, not specifically because of who Peterson is, but the obsession he had with him, and his somewhat particular heavy research regarding religious beliefs and text on the day of his death. Obviously, suddenly abandoning one's plans and removing your clothing before climbing into a storm drain are potential signs of a serious mental break. Of potential note is that Noah actually was caught on CCTV sneaking out of his home at 3:30 a.m. on the morning of the day of his disappearance. He returned approximately half an hour later without the headphones and flip-flops he left with and soaking wet from the rain. Okay. So, okay, this 3:30 a.m. thing, and this is exactly what I mean when I say kids are kids. So, parents see them one way and they could be potentially somebody totally different. Okay, so let's take this. I'm sneaking out the house because obviously his parents didn't know this fact, because if they did, he wouldn't have left. He probably wouldn't have been able to leave later that day. So it seems like he's going to meet somebody. I don't know who, but he's meeting somebody because he comes back. He sneaks out and then he returns back. Somebody's taking stuff from him. But who is he going to meet up? Or he owes somebody something. According to this, I'm over here trying to figure the thing out. Because let's just say, okay, let's say he made a bet, right? And he owes somebody some money. And kids, they talk. They going at it. He said, bet you can't do this, bet you can't do that. All right, now pay me what you owe. And Noah couldn't do it. Now he's like, give me everything. I want your laptop, I want your headphones. Give me the shoes off your feet. This is honestly where the issue could come. Noah might have made a bet and lost, and now it's time to pay up. That could honestly be the issue here. All right, let's keep going. Theory 3 is foul play. As the case with many disappearances and strange deaths, foul play is a popular theory. That being said, there isn't much evidence pointing in that direction. Through his journey, we never see Noah interact with anyone, though it's possible he did so off camera. The authorities have directly said there is no evidence of foul play. However, there are a few things worth mentioning. Noah was a mixed-race Catholic boy who was riding through a largely white and Protestant area of the city. Certainly, a hate crime cannot be totally ruled out. In fact, just a few weeks before Noah's disappearance, a 15-year-old boy had been attacked in that area in what was claimed to be a religiously motivated attack. Maybe Noah stumbled across the group of individuals who harassed him and chased or forced him into the storm drain until he became stuck. Or maybe someone robbed him of his backpack and he sped off. In his panic, crashing his bike, suffering a head injury that ultimately led to his demise. Certainly, these ideas mostly speculative, but it's difficult to definitively rule them out. Maybe, because the thing is, what I'm thinking about now is what's something that Noah could do that he could not tell his parents, and something that he couldn't do. This right here, he could, after losing his laptop, or let's say this group of individuals stole his laptop, he could go run back to tell his parents what happened, and everything would be okay. But what's something that he could do that he could not do, or actually that he could do and not tell his parents about? And that would be gambling something and then not being able to pay it back. Because in a kid's mind, you're thinking everything is bigger than what it really is. And something like this, you're like, man, I can't never tell my parents because they'll never forgive me. And at the end of the day, this is something you probably should tell your parents about. So right now, I'm stuck on that because I'm thinking it's leading more towards that. It could be something sexual, but I don't think it would be necessarily that quick. But you never know with these type of cases, which sucks. Sucks for Noah at the end of the day because you just hate to see anything like this. But if I had to take a guess on what I think this is, I'm thinking that Noah made a bet with somebody that he couldn't pay off, especially reading at 3:31. Him leaving 3:30 in the morning and coming back with nothing. And then I'm starting to think Noah's probably doubling down. And now Noah doesn't know what to do. And Noah is panicked, he's scared, and maybe this guy is threatening the family. It could be an older person, if I had to take a guess, that he made a bet with. And now he can't pay him back, and this older guy wants his money, and now he's taking his stuff, his belongings. He doesn't know what to tell his parents. I doubt it could be a kid, but I wouldn't rule that out. But I would say somebody with an older person, because older people know how to, not necessarily just older, well, I will say older people know how to manipulate situations better than how kids do. So if I had to take a guess, that's what I'm laying my hat on in this scenario. But I'm interested in hearing the theories. Theory 4, suicide. It says, while the family claims Noah was happy and not suicidal, the psychiatrist who examined witness statements, medical records, forensic reports, and CCTV has come forward in her investigation to say she believes Noah died by suicide as a result of low mood and struggling with his sexuality. There's obviously a lot to unpack here, so let's start why the psychiatrist believes this. Essentially, she comes to the conclusion that Noah could not reconcile with the possibility of himself being gay with his perception of Jordan Peterson's beliefs and values. He had been looking up religious topics on the day of his death, possibly reflecting his inner struggle between his sexuality and his religious beliefs. Now it's important to note that the only evidence of Noah struggling with his sexuality come in a series of vague text messages to friends in which he says he is in denial and coming out. His family, friends, and teachers all claim to have seen no signs of him struggling with his sexuality. Not to mention, why climb in a storm drain to drown yourself if you're going to commit suicide? Certainly, it's understood that those who are suicidal do things we don't understand, but personally, this feels like a stretch. And then it says, in the end, it'll be difficult to ever know what happened to Noah on that summer evening. What we do know is that the bright, talented young boy tragically lost his life that day, and that is the truth, and which is sad. The suicide argument, that would probably be the next best argument in my opinion, but the storm drain would confuse me a little bit. He would, unless he goes in there to weep, but at the same time, why would you lose your book bag over it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, why would you lose your laptop? Why would you lose your books? Why are you losing all this stuff? Now I'm over here thinking about my gambling argument. It might not necessarily be true either now I think about it. I just thought about something in the case, about how the guy said he found the laptop and the books just like on the side somewhere. If that's true, so why would his books? Yeah, because they wouldn't have been able to find it. And the thing is, didn't they say his clothes? There was somewhere in here that said his clothes weren't ever found again, right? His underwear wasn't found. Let me, if I can search it real quick. Yeah, it says his underwear, t-shirt, and shorts have never been recovered. And Noah is seen naked riding his bike by 2 witnesses in the cul-de-sac. And that was around 6 p.m. So his sexuality being questioned. Again, this goes to something you feel like you can't tell your parents. So that's why I'm putting this necessarily higher on the list. My gambling take might actually have to go down because now thinking about it, if I want to take something from you, I'm going to make sure I keep it and take it for myself. I'm not going to leave it somewhere. The sexuality thing being if he got necessarily rejected or told somebody, came out to somebody, and it wasn't the ideal scenario that he wanted, that could have been an issue. Why do you leave your house early in the morning? I would say you could be gay and straight, whatever. I would say because you really want something bad, and that could be possibly an issue. Yeah, that's it. Man, these cases, man, jeez. It just sucks that he's a 14-year-old boy and just can't live the rest of his life over whatever it was, whatever he was going through, man, it's just sad. Somebody said an important additional factor is that he snuck out of his home in the middle of the night, hours before he went missing. It says in the pouring rain at 3:30 a.m. and returned about 35 minutes soaking wet, minus his headphones and his flip-flops. This makes me lean into it being a psychotic, possibly exacerbated by the fall. Poor kid. What a terrible way to die, alone in the dark, lost and drowning. I agree with that. Yeah, he just had his whole life ahead of him. And it says, I wonder if he may have fallen in the rain that night, sustained a concussion, resulting in erratic behavior hours later. Okay, only thing about the erratic behavior, he knew he was going to visit his friends, right? Or maybe he never intended to go visit his friends. But did he have enough sense to tell his parents that he was? Because from 3:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., that's a big lapse. That's a big jump in time. So I'm pretty sure people that have concussions usually, I'm not going to say usually because I don't know, but I'm assuming if a concussion is that bad, he's vomiting and throwing up and he's not normal. His parents should be able to tell that unless they've just been working all day ever since he woke up and never saw him really. Man, that is sad for this kid though. Let's see what else is on here. Somebody said this is what I thought. Like maybe he was going outside after an innocuous reason, lending a friend the headphones, for example, slipped, fell, hurt his head. The flip-flops could have just gotten stuck in the mud somewhere, but this might have been the start of his troubles. The tough part about this. Somebody put a long comment. All right. There's nowhere near his home he could have slipped and fallen or got his flip-flops stuck in the mud to lose them. Where he lived is very cosmopolitan. He could have walked to the nearest park, but again, it's not marshy or the type of environment he would get bogged down and lose his things. Laptop and bag were in his hands of known drug dealers. The theory that it was payment for a debt, along with earphones, I believe is the strongest one. Yeah, that's the one I was going with. Or the sexual, I think I put the sexual ahead of it now. Just because the bag was still found. We would have believed that it's a coincidence his items were found by a dangerous drug dealer. And it's a coincidence his body was found in the backyard of the family of a known serial killer of his kind. That would be a very coincidental lack of luck the child had while suffering a psychosis event. Belfast is a safe enough city, and the child someone managed to cross paths with two of his darkest elements while cycling through the city on a lazy Sunday afternoon. I don't think I could be that unlucky even if I was actively looking for dangerous people. People don't like this person comment. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, because it wasn't mentioned about the drug deal. I thought it was just somebody found his bag. Yeah, and people saying either that or he was meeting someone. Well, we know he was meeting someone. Somebody also puts, I wonder if he could have been sneaking out for a hookup. Considering that he was potentially struggling with his sexuality, he could have been experimenting. The hookup could have gone wrong. Maybe he regretted it, resulting in a mental break the next day. That's the one I want to go with. The flip-flops and headphones missing is odd though, and most likely related to a psychotic break given how he ditched his backpack and clothes the next day before vanishing. So let's do this because I'm trying to think of a scenario. So girl or guy. Okay, let's just say girl or guy. He goes 3:30, meets a girl, meets a guy, right? All right. Let's say he leaves the headphones because everything is going well. Now the flip-flops, I don't understand why the flip-flops would be gone because I'm not forgetting my flip-flops. Unless he leaves because somebody's parents is breaking into the room or somebody caught. That could be an issue. And that's the reason he doesn't have his headphones or his flip-flops now. Somebody possibly caught him. And now that's where the issue comes in. And now he thinks he's about to get caught. Because I'm trying to think of things of where you wouldn't tell your parents as a kid. What is something that you wouldn't tell your parents? The gambling and you owing people money. You wouldn't want to tell your parents that as a kid. And the sexual stuff. And him possibly being gay, that could just be adding more to it, especially if it seems like the parents are from a Catholic background. So that could be an issue in itself. But also sneaking out, let's just say it's a girl, he was sneaking out 3:30 and then he possibly got caught and hoping the other parents don't tell. But no, that wouldn't, because then he goes back and obviously he's going back not to see his friends. He's going back, he probably lied to his parents. That's probably one of the issues here. Probably lied to his parents. Probably didn't have, because he said he had a project in June, if I remember right. If he had a project in June, isn't school usually out in June? I'm not sure how it is in European countries, but I thought school was out unless he's going to school year round because this is summer. So I'm not totally sure about this one. That's what I said. I'm putting the sexual one up because it was something that you couldn't tell your parents that. And then him possibly being gay, that especially if you're coming from a Catholic family, like Catholic, Christian, Muslim, any of those religious type of families, that's something that's heavily frowned upon. So doing that would cause a great issue. So, and then will be a reason to go back. You now need to talk to this person, confirm everything's okay, especially if you almost got caught. If you almost got caught or did get caught, I would say, and then you get caught. There's so many scenarios because I'm over here thinking of another scenario. What if he was just standing outside of somebody's window because I'm trying to think of possibly stalking, but no, because then he actually went and met this person again because he had no plans to go meet his friends. I don't think he did. He acted like he was meeting his friends, and that's why he brought his laptop and his books. He had no plans to meet his friends. Yeah, it's either he owed a debt. It's two things. Either owe the debt, and I'm gonna go here the possibility of him being gay. It had to be one of the two. That's the only thing I can think of. There's no, man, it's sad though. Because he gets hit by the bus. I don't know. It depends on how hard the bus hit him. I feel like that should have been on CCTV footage. Because if he was concussed, the bus driver should have been able to get him. But it should have something, because why wouldn't you have your t-shirt, underwear? Yeah, unless you are doing something sexual. But what piece of clothing did he have? Hold on. Let me see. Let me go back. I'm over here trying to search. Okay. His hoodie, helmet, and shoes would be later found scattered nearby local residents. His underwear, t-shirt, and shorts have never been recovered. Sometime after, Noah is seen naked riding his bike by two witnesses in a cul-de-sac. So Noah was with somebody. And it's clear, well, obviously he was with somebody because somebody took his stuff. But I mean, he was with somebody sexually. Because why wouldn't you have your underwear? Why can't they find the underwear, shorts, or the t-shirt? I would say, because that would be the last article of clothing that you take off. First would be the hoodie, helmet, and shoes. The last would be the t-shirt, the shorts, and the underwear. Yeah, this case is a lot bigger than you think it is. Dang, man, you feel bad for family. I'll say if he had any siblings. Yeah, that's just the sad part about all these cases, man. And you just start reading them, you're like, oh, man. Let me see, where this is again, because I keep saying a European country, but in Ireland. Okay, man. Yeah, Noah, Donaway family, man. Yeah, that was a long one, but hopefully Noah's in a better place now. But yeah, this just sucks.